Tea Party caucus. Today, the group holding its first closed-door meeting with 24 Republican House members in attendance. No Democrats. Afterward, Representative Michelle Bachmann hailed the formation of the caucus. She says will be a listening ear for the grassroots movement, and work to advance its ideas.
We are not the Tea Party movement as members. We are listening, we're receptacles, and we're ears to listen to what the people have to say. We stand for three things, and it's the fact that the federal government should not spend more money than what it takes in. Number two, our people are taxed enough already. And number three, Congress needs to get back to acting within the limitations placed on it by the Constitution.
So at least two members of the House Republican leadership already count themselves as part of the caucus. Conference Chairman Mike Pence out of Indiana and Congressman Pete Sessions out of Texas. But don't expect Congressman Jason Chaffetz out of Utah to be behind them. Today he tweeted, if any one person tries to co-opt it, the Tea Party will lose its identity and effectiveness. Go Tea Party, but not with D.C. leadership. Joining us now, Republican Congressman Jason Chaffetz. Congressman, why'd you write that?
As I believe it. I just don't believe that if you add formality and structure to the Tea Party, that it's going to be effective as it is. I'm a result of the Tea Party. I am 100% pro-Tea Party. But I just don't believe that if you put a head on it, if you try to put a spokesperson to it, that if you add structure and formality to it, that it's going to be achieving the type of success that it's had thus far. It's a groundswell. It's a ground-up movement, and I want to keep it that way.
Do you think that a Democrat could just as likely join the Tea Party in its current form as a Republican?
Well, there's certain principles that they probably have to adhere to. But, yeah, look, these are real Americans across the whole political spectrum. When I see the Tea Party, I see good old-fashioned Americans who probably have never been involved in this process before standing up saying, hey, we got to get our country back on track. So I don't think political affiliation matters as much as do you really want to limit the size and scope of government?
If you were to look at it as the establishment being those who have been serving politically in this country for many years, if not decades, and then you were to look at the Tea Party as one of many anti-establishment organizations that has sprung up and exists in this country today.
Yeah,
Can you conceive of a way that establishment politicians through a caucus, I don't care left, right, or center, can honestly represent the interests of anti-establishment voices?
Well, yeah, you don't necessarily have to have a caucus to be a good listener. I mean, I guess that's my point. I'm just a freshman here. I've only been here 18 months. But somebody who's been here 18 years could also be very good at listening and actually moving forward on those same principles of fiscal discipline, limited government, accountability, and a strong national defense. That's not exclusive to how long you've served or not served, but too many of those folks who have been here that long have lost that voice. They've lost their roots in why they came to Congress in the first place.
So what do you see as the risk to the Tea Party if the establishment caucus continues to basically put itself on top, if you will, of the movement as a face or a figurehead?
Well, I had a good discussion with Michelle Bachmann on the floor, and she assured me, look, this is a conduit by which people can listen. And under the setup, I'm comfortable with it. Now, I personally won't be joining it, but again, I'm 100% Tea Party. I believe in it. I just want it to stay ground up.
But I understand all that, but what do you perceive as the risk to the effectiveness of the Tea Party of any potential organization? Obviously, you're saying, listen, don't get organized, stay basically where you are and express yourself as you see fit in that context, and that the risk is if you become organized, you become a part of some other machine or some other vehicle. What risk do you perceive?
Well, then you have other factors coming into play, and you start to worry about where are people's alliances and whatnot. I want this to be as grassroots as possible. I want this to be a reflection of true American values. What are people really thinking about? And have that dynamic happen from coast to coast. I think that's the power of what's happening. By the millions, people are rising up saying, we got to get our country back on track. We do not like the direction of the United States of America. We want to return to those core principles, and that's what I see happening. I want to make sure that structure stays as loose as possible. That's the magic of it.
At the same time, what does it mean to become a member of the Tea Party or the Tea Party caucus? In other words, if I was a serving politician and decided I wanted to join up, do I have to sign something? Do I have to take an oath? Do I represent an explicit set of values, or can I just kind of say it and hope that the people that also say it in St. Louis or in Oklahoma or wherever they may be vote for me because we're both using the same word?
I think you're just assigning your name to it at this point. It's just now starting. It's just getting kicked off. I don't know that they have any formality to that thus far.
Should they form a legitimate third party instead of trying to embed themselves inside of the current political infrastructure?
No, and by its very definition, it wouldn't be the Tea Party anymore. By very definition, I don't think that they should be, organizing as a specific third party, if you will, or anything like that. And I don't think anybody's necessarily suggested that so far. No, it needs to be as loosely structured as possible. That's the power of it.
All right, listen, a pleasure to see you, Congressman.
Hey, thank you.